The Travelling Musicians by the Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time, an honest farmer had an old donkey who had been a faithful servant for many years. But now the donkey was growing old and weak and could no longer do as much work as before. His master, tired of keeping him, began to think of putting an end to him. But the donkey, sensing trouble, quietly slipped away and began a journey toward the great city. Perhaps, he thought, I can become a musician there. After travelling a while, the donkey came across a dog lying by the roadside, panting with exhaustion. "What makes you pant so, my friend?" asked the donkey. "Alas," said the dog, "my master was going to knock me on the head because I'm old and can no longer hunt. I ran away, but now I don't know how I'll earn my living." "Well," said the donkey, "I'm going to the city to become a musician. Why don't you come with me? Maybe we can make music together." The dog agreed, and the two set off side by side. Before long they met a cat sitting in the middle of the road, looking terribly sad. "My good lady," said the donkey, "what's the matter? You look quite out of spirits." "Ah, me," sighed the cat. "I'm growing old and I'd rather nap by the fire than chase mice. My mistress wanted to drown me, so I ran away. But what will I do now?" "Oh, come with us," said the donkey. "You're a fine night singer. You could join our band." The cat was pleased and joined the travellers. A little farther on they came to a farmyard, where a rooster stood upon a gate, crowing with all his might. "Bravo," said the donkey. "You make quite the sound. What's all the fuss about?" "I was just telling everyone that tomorrow will be fine weather," said the rooster. "But my mistress and the cook plan to cut off my head tomorrow and make broth for Sunday's guests." "Heaven forbid," said the donkey. "Come with us, Master Chanticleer. Better to make music than end up in a pot." "With all my heart," said the rooster. And off the four new friends went, cheerful and full of hope. They travelled all day, but couldn't reach the city by nightfall, so they stopped in a dark forest to rest. The donkey and dog settled beneath a large tree, the cat climbed into its branches, and the rooster flew up to the very top. Before falling asleep, the rooster looked around and spotted a faint light in the distance. "There must be a house nearby," he called down. "If that's true," said the donkey, "let's move. Our lodging isn't exactly comfortable." "And," added the dog, "a bone or two wouldn't hurt." So they followed the light until they came upon a house glowing warm and bright. Inside, a band of robbers were feasting around a table filled with food and drink. "What do you see, donkey?" whispered the rooster. "I see a fine table of food and robbers making merry," said the donkey. "That would make a noble lodging for us," said the rooster. "Yes," said the donkey, "if only we could get in." They thought and thought until they came up with a plan. The donkey stood on his hind legs with his 4 feet against the window. The dog climbed onto his back. The cat perched upon the dog's shoulders, and the rooster flew up to the cat's head. At a signal they began their music. The donkey brayed, the dog barked, the cat meowed, and the rooster crowed. Then, crash! They burst through the window together in a storm of sound and shattered glass. The robbers, terrified by the horrible noise, thought monsters had attacked them and ran into the woods as fast as they could. Once the coast was clear, the 4 friends eagerly sat down to the table and ate everything the robbers had left behind. When they were full, they blew out the candles and each found a sleeping spot. The donkey lay on straw in the yard. The dog curled up behind the door. The cat nestled by the warm ashes on the hearth. The rooster perched high on a beam. They soon fell into a deep, happy sleep. Around midnight, one of the robbers crept back to see what had happened. Finding the house dark and quiet, he sneaked into the kitchen to light a candle. But when he saw the cat's glowing eyes in the dark, he thought they were live coals and tried to light his match from them. The cat, furious, sprang at his face, spitting and scratching. The robber stumbled back toward the door, where the dog leapt up and bit his leg. As he ran through the yard, the donkey gave him a mighty kick, and from above, The rooster crowed with all his might. Terrified, the robber fled back to his comrades. "There's a witch in the house!" He gasped. "She scratched me with her claws, a man stabbed me in the leg, a black monster hit me with a club, and the devil himself shouted from the roof." From that night on, the robbers never dared go near the house again. The four musicians liked their new home so much that they decided to stay there forever. And if you ever wander near that forest, you might still hear them singing together. The donkey, the dog, the cat, and the rooster, making music under the moonlight. The end.